Hi everyone, my name is Christina and I'm here today with 3 of our young people. We had the very pleasure of being asked to pass down a long-time Cornerstone Church family recipe for our upcoming communion service. So I'm here today with
Elise,
Demarquise,
Chloe,
and Chloe. Thank you for being here. So today we are going to make communion bread for our Christmas Eve family communion service. Let's see, back in 1990 something, not telling my age, but I remember on Airport Highway, Bishop would teach us every time we took communion on one element of the communion table. So there were 3 parts. There was the bread, which we're doing today, the cup, and the table. So we do a bread that's called unleavened bread. So we're making a bread that doesn't have any yeast, any leavening. It's gonna be a flat bread. We're gonna roll the dough out to be whatever thickness we want, because when we bake it, that's what it's gonna be, right? Okay, so today we're gonna do, we talked about we're gonna make our regular family recipe, and for those of our church family who have allergies and things, we're gonna also provide a little gluten-free flatbread for them so that they can partake with us. Okay, the recipe for our communion bread, or the directions. We have 6 tablespoons of melted butter, which Deanna's doing. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons of oil, a half a cup of sugar, 4 cups of white flour, 4 cups of wheat flour, and 4 cups of milk. So Dan is making the gluten-free and dairy-free flatbread that we're going to use for communion service for our family members who need special bread. And this recipe is 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of oil, and 3/4 cup of water, cold water. And you're just going to mix that together, and it'll form into like a dough ball. And then that dough ball will make 8 small loaves that will flatten out, and then we're going to put a little bit of oil on a hot griddle, and then we're going to just cook those until they're like nice and golden on either side and cook through. And it'll have a soft texture on the inside with a little bit of a crispier outside. So there's something about taking communion with the family. There's power in that, but you can also take communion at home, because sometimes just in your daily life as a Christian, to remember that God, the sacrifice that Jesus made for you, and that you're part of the family of God, and that all the blessings and the promises that are ours as being part of the body of Christ. And it's a time that you can reflect in your own worship, in your own time with the Lord. So it's not just for church time, although traditionally, when I grew up, that's how it was presented to me, that it was just to be done during a church service. But I have since learned, you can even teach an older person new things, that we can take it more often, and we can take it with our family or by ourselves even sometimes. Because sometimes if we're really have a time at home, or we're struggling or something, it's good for us to kind of sit and be still before the Lord, and just remember that we're not alone, right? That He made a way for us, and that God is still present in our life, even in those moments, right? So now we're going to have to incorporate it as much as we can. And then at home, I would suggest you use either a hand mixer or a KitchenAid stand mixer, or some type of stand mixer works really great. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way and just put some gloves on and get in there and mix it all together. Okay, now the object of this is just to get all that flour and everything mixed up. So kind of like, you like to play with Play-Doh?
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be a big Play-Doh ball. Let's get it all in there and mix it together. Can you move yours, fill in over here a little bit? That's good. That's good. Okay, so then these are already preheated at 350 degrees, so we can, here's a hot pad. So you can put that in.
So scrumptious.
That's yours.
Look at yours. You did a great job.
So it should have the crust formed all the way across, and if you kind of just push on it, it shouldn't have any sponginess to it at all. Okay. Okay, so the bread is out of the oven. The flatbread is off the griddle, and now we're ready to, after it's completely cooled, about 30 minutes or so on the baked bread. The flatbread cools down rather quickly, so you can slice that more sooner. I'm so glad to be able to share our Cornerstone Church Family Communion bread recipe that's been around for many decades now. It was passed to me by a dear sister in the church, and I'm so grateful and glad to be able to pass it to our next generation. And I invite you to make bread at home for you and your family, to take communion at home.